Hello, I'm Drew Larson, the founding co-owner of Leaders Beverage in Chicago. Today I am here with Quality Draft Systems out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Today we're going to be talking about a coffee kegerator, specifically the type that we put together for BIGGBY coffee. So if you happen to be a BIGGBY client, this video is specifically to show you a little bit of the setup, the operation, and some troubleshooting. If you happen to be somebody who just wants to learn more about coffee kegerators, this is still the right place to be. So please understand, this unit is actually going out to a client, so we're leaving the laser tape on, we're leaving some of the other protective things on like that, but otherwise all of this would come off. Also, we take our work very seriously, but not ourselves. If I trip over my words or anything like that today, we probably aren't going to be doing thousands of takes, so please forgive us ahead of time for some of the funky editing we'll do to make this whole video work for you. So hey, let's jump into it and show you how to use it. When you open up your kegerator from us, the first thing you're going to find in there is this. This is your primary regulator made for nitrogen. So you also need a nitrogen cylinder before you're able to use your system. Now this gauge has, or this regulator has two gauges. This gauge right here, the one on the right or left as you're looking at it, this tells you how much is left in this system. So that's the pressure inside the bottle. So when you're getting down to the red, you're getting close to being empty. The one on top is the pressure that is outbound, which is what you're actually putting on your keg. And then this is how we increase the volume, is by putting a small screwdriver in there and turning to the right. So the right raises the pressure and to the left lowers the pressure. We're going to want to be set right around 30 pounds. So that's what we're going to do. First we have to put it on. When you have a new bottle or a new cylinder, you want to look inside and make sure that there's no debris in there. You can even very gently crack it just like that, get a little gas, and that'll clear anything out. Now we're going to put in the regulator. You got your threads in there. What this is just a convenient ratchet for you. So you'll put it back over that bolt, and you're just going to keep doing that until really it's all the way seated. And if it'll come off, you can actually use your fingers, get it pretty much all the way there, kind of like that, and then throw this on to give it that extra bit. Now, every time you change a gas bottle, this is what I recommend to do. This is what I do, because even I might get a bad seal. Because these threads get beaten up over time, so it might feel threaded when it's not. So what you'll want to do is turn the gas on, leaving this switch off. This is the gas switch. The gas is going in the direction of switch. So if I point down, it's letting it out. This is off. And you can see we're already up at about 45 pounds. I'm going to leave that there for this video. And over here it shows that we're over 2,000 pounds of pressure. Now like I showed you, this is righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So this is on and this is off. And now this is what I do. So once you charge it up and your gas switch is off and you turn the bottle off, now there's no gas flowing from your cylinder. If these gauges drop at all, then you have a gas leak and it might not be a good seal here. If this is open and they drop, you may have a leak elsewhere. So that is getting your gas bottle set up. We're going to turn it back on because we're going to use this as we show you how to use the system. Now if you have a unit where your cylinder is going to sit on the inside, let's zoom back out, then this bottle is then going to end up just sitting right inside along with your coffee kegs. If you ordered a unit where the gas is going to be on the outside, then what you're going to have is this coming out of the back with some quick disconnects so that you can quick disconnect it however you need. But let's get some coffee going and show you how to use the rest of the system. So what you have here now is the panel that we build into the kegerator. Here is going to be the attachment. It looks a lot like a soda attachment because it is a soda attachment, but the coffee bags for BIGGBY coffees use this kind of connector. Now what happens is this is the gas line. I just showed you the gas bottle, and that's going to do two things. It runs this pump and it runs the nitrogen infuser. So, and then we're going to split on the way out. So what happens is the coffee goes through this line, goes up into the pump, comes out of the pump, goes through this. This is a coffee filter. When you're cleaning your coffee system every week, you want to take this off. Oh, there's a little water in there because we pressurized it earlier. And you have a little filter in there. So you'll want to clean that filter out each time you clean the system, about once a week. And it's always okay to do it more. So that's going to go through the coffee filter. And now what we have here is we have a still line. It just loops over and comes right up and goes to your still line. And that's the one with the flow control faucet. I'll show you that later. And then you have the one that's going to go to the nitro. That's coming through. It's going into the nitrogenator and then back out. And that's going to be your nitro coffee. If you want more nitrogen, like more of the cascade that comes up, this is that dial. So righty-tighty, that makes it more. Lefty-loosey, that makes it less. So that is the system that's going to be inside of your coffee kegerator. And then this line up here is just the drain line from up above. Sometimes you might want to pull that a little tighter so it doesn't sag. And it comes right over the bottle, and that is your basically your drain. So you can dump that out anytime. Let's keep moving. So I'm sure you're going to set your kegerator up that's a little less messy. Right now I've just got stuff sitting there so we can see what we're doing. This is your coffee bag, and that connector is just going to go right on and spin on just like that. You can already hear it ticking away. And then we're going to turn on our gas, and the system will be charged up, and then we're going to pour some coffees. So you see, I've turned it on now, so we have gas, and that pressurizes the coffee and come up. So the pump is clicking away because it wants to get filled up. Once we fill the system all the way up to the faucets, that will stop. So let's do that. All right, you can hear the pump clicking away. We're going to go ahead and pour through. And we'll want to get that first one poured through before we get to good solid coffee. Now you can kind of see the system's filled up. And I'm going to give you a little close-up. So now you already noticed when we poured this the first time that that pump stopped going, but the gas is still turned on. So that's why it wants to be charged, so the pump has something to push against. That's the pressure. It stops it. So now when you're pouring your nitrogen coffee, what you'll see is kind of a clear coffee and then a foam and a coffee and a foam as you're hearing the coffee pump click away. So that is all perfectly normal, just like that. And then you get the beautiful cascade. I wish this was in a Guinness glass, but it's not Guinness, it's coffee. So you get that beautiful cascade. And I already showed you how you can get more or less of that. So that is the nitrogen side. The still side we're going to do next. So we have two kinds of faucets. We already went over the nitrogen faucet, and I will say that it's best practice to not pull this all the way open and leave it at a 90-degree angle. There's a little diaphragm in there that goes up and down that can get ripped. So it's always the best idea to just go to 45 degrees and hold it the whole time. Now the other one is the still coffee. This one's made with a flow control faucet, and that flow control faucet has a lever. And the reason that is because the pressure that we have to put on the coffee for the nitro to work would make it fly out of the faucet so fast you couldn't fill a glass. So instead what you have is a flow control. All the way down is off. So you'll see if I pull the handle, just about nothing will happen. And then you'll just slowly raise the pressure until you have it about where you want to pour it. And a nice cold iced coffee, not nitrogenated. Now if you're a BIGGBY coffee client and one of these are coming, we've got a few more things for you. Inside of each one of your kegs will be 2 gallons of the Micromatic beer line cleaner. We'll link to it down below. This is what we use. We don't get kickbacks for anything that we show you. We just simply show you the equipment and the products that we use. We always look for the highest quality of everything because high quality is where you improve profit on revenue and increase revenue. But we got a few more things then. So when you're cleaning, this is a lot like the connector that little green one goes on top. So all you'll be doing is spinning that down on this, and then this end goes into the little bucket with coffee, and when you pour through the faucet, it will click and click and click and pull the coffee, the cleaner through, and then you're going to rinse that out. There are instructions on the back of the. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw the question in the comments below, or give us a shout. We're also going to send you a wrench in case you need help getting the regulator on and off. And we send you a little faucet wrench. This faucet wrench helps you get these faucets off. And I should say, we're going to do a whole separate video on cleaning, So this one is really just about the setup and showing you a little bit of what you got coming. And then we also have some cleaning brushes for you on these faucets and a John Guest tool that helps you remove John Guest fittings. Those fittings that you saw inside the Kegerator that were white with the lines coming out of them, those were John Guest. That's what this is for. Again, we're going to do an entire video where we show you just the cleaning process. These are what are coming to you, or this stuff is what's coming to you. And again, if you're having a problem pouring, remember, is the gas on? Is the gas bottle turned on? Is the pump inside clicking away, click, 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 so we know that's working? And are they coming out of the faucets? One last thing I'm going to share before we end this short video today is this is the nitrogen faucet magic. This is the nozzle that comes off. We'll get that cleaned up before we ship. This nozzle should come off every night. Oh, let me bring it up to you. This nozzle should come off every night and soak in like carbonated water or just water. There's a little diffusion plate in there and a couple of O-rings, and you can hear it sort of shake. That's a little flow straightener. You don't want to lose those little pieces inside, but you do want to keep this clean, because if that little plate in there that has some holes, if those little holes get occluded at all with dried coffee, your coffee will pour crazy or not at all. So got to stay nice and clean. I'm going to throw that back on there for the moment. We'll clean it up later before we package it up. And that is your BIGGBY coffee kegerator, where one coffee can pour both your nitrogen and your still. All right, here's a little bonus. I know we said I was going to show you this in a whole separate video, but just real quick. So you see that piece that I pulled out and showed you? You're just going to connect those two together. You can put that right down in a bucket or even into the container of the Micromatic coffee. That's under the water, and we turn on the gas, and then we should be able to pour through up there, and that will clear out the system. You'll let that soak for a half an hour, and then you'll run back with good clean water to get the coffee cleaner out. All right, let's do that. So we've got our line in the cleaner, or right now it's water, but if we were cleaning, clear it out with some water, put the chemical in, get the chemical through, and then once the chemical is done soaking, then it's lots of water through. The gas is on, the bottle's on, we see we have our pressure. So now we're gonna come up here, and we're just going to pour through, and you'll see the water has just gone all the way up and through, and we should get to a good, clean, clear water. And now it's just actually nitrogenating the water. So we got good, clean water. That's all it takes. And you're still. Thank you very much for joining us for this short video. I hope this helped so that you can put out a lot of great coffee for your clients. If you have any questions, like we said, give our shop a call or put them in the comments below, and we'll do our best to answer. Thanks so much. Have a great day.